All right, we are kicking off Historic here today with, in fact, the first two decks we're going to play today are decks from the Hoaglandia Historic Open this past weekend. So we're kicking off here with some Jeskai Planeswalkers here. So we've got a bunch of sweepers in Shatter the Sky and Deafening Clarion to try and keep us alive against aggressive decks. And then we've got a number of taking turn effects. So full 4 copies of Nexus of Fate and Karn's Temporal Sundering as effects to let us double up on our Planeswalker activations over the course of a few turns. Hey, Rutherford, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. And Slice DH, thanks for the 10 months. The one thing I feel that is interesting to note about a deck like this is that this deck, this archetype, this style of deck is better in an event like the Open that we just played over the weekend that it had a deep run in than it is in the constructed ladder. And the reason for that is in an open deck list tournament, you know you're playing against aggressive decks and you can mulligan appropriately. Aggressive decks like Gruul are better on the ladder because they get free wins game one that they don't get against good players in open deck list tournaments, because good players are going to get to mulligan hands that aren't good against aggro game one. There are some Oath of Teferi in here to really put your Planeswalkers into overdrive as well. Oath of Teferi also has good synergy with Fires of Invention. You can blink your fires when you cast your Oath as your second spell in the turn to unlock your mana. Can a mod make a command explaining how the historic ranked queue rotation works? I feel like that's going to be a really common question over the next week. And here, again, here's one of those starts where my opponent's deck is aggressive and my hand, it doesn't really do a whole lot to start. I would not have kept this hand if I knew what I was playing against here. So unless the search for Azcanta helps us find a Shatter the Sky for turn 4, good chance we get run out of this game without really doing much. I'm not sure if you really understand, Ween. So there's always a historic queue available, but the ranked queue specifically is only available from Anthology till the next set release. So it is an important distinction. How's the volume level, by the way? I redid my audio setup last night. So that way people... Sounds good? Okay. Fine. I set up my Windows audio configuration so it was like my Linux setup where every application is no longer broadcasting to OBS. So... So, this sideboard here, it might even be worth readjusting the sideboard main deck in this deck a little bit to make it a bit better in these aggressive matchups. Game 1 for the ladder could perhaps be a consideration. Get to bring in a bunch of cheap removal and extra sweeper here so we have a little bit more play to it. Yeah, it's fine. Mindstone? Sure, Mindstone sounds great. I think even with the Shatter, do I Baffling End? I think so. my health total a little bit high, and getting rid of the Pride Mate means that my opponent won't draw a card most likely when I shatter them. That sounds stellar. Would love a source of card advantage here. Thanks, Bartman. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more events. The event this past weekend basically ran more smoothly than I was expecting in every facet. And I'm glad it looks like it's something we're going to be able to do with some consistency. I am a firm believer of Arena offering a better viewer experience than anything else that's been done with regards to Magic so far, and I think it's a true travesty that we haven't had a consistent source of regular Arena tournaments with quality coverage. I feel like once we sorted the Discord issues that we had over the weekend, we were really able to put together something that was very comparable to like what the Mythic Invitationals have been, especially when you compare what our budgets are. Yes, yeah, using the desktop Discord client resolved our issues with the connections randomly dropping out. There was still some frame rate lag from some people sharing their screens due to hardware limitations on the people sharing's part, but it was still functional, which was fine. You still have to have hardware that can support streaming the game. So again, the fix that we did with the issue we were having was not because of people broadcasting, it was because of the Discord client I was using. Yes, a proper spectator client would go a long way. A proper spectator client would make it much easier to do what we did yesterday, and would allow us to have tournaments without the requirement being people have to be able to stream their matches. Until Magic Arena has an official spectator client mode, it will be a requirement for all Hooglandia Opens that players need to be able to broadcast their matches via Discord. I know that sucks a little bit because it limits people with weaker hardware or worse internet connections from being able to play, but just is what it is, basically. Yes, for this event, this first event, we use the honor system for people who are on the primary feature match. We weren't playing for huge prizes. We were mostly playing for pride and for entertainment's sake. Channel Fireball's coverage is in no way comparable to what we did over the weekend. Channel Fireball is doing the best with what they've got, but in my opinion, Channel Fireball's tournament coverage is largely unwatchable. Channel Fireball is simply rebroadcasting people who are voluntarily streaming their matches, which gives you a really disjoint view of what their tournament's going on, and it means that there's not really any variety included in it, because they're at the mercy of people who are willing to stream. Whereas I am requiring people, because Channel Fireball is running their events to turn a profit on people paying them $25 to play. I'm running events for the purpose of doing good coverage, right? Like, doing coverage of the Hooglandia Opens is my primary goal. Doing coverage of Channel Fireball's thing is their secondary goal. So again, just to be clear, I think Channel Fireball has done a good job with what they've been given, but short of doing what I'm doing, which is requiring people to broadcast all their matches, they're not going to be able to get a better product than they have now without a spectator mode or some other third-party piece of software. I'm not even sure you could really do it well with a third-party piece of software. Yeah, streaming to Discord is a lot less resource intensive than streaming to Twitch is. Something that's actually worth noting is the Field of the Dead decks largely did not have great weekends on Sunday. We have TDM. You can find it on my YouTube channel and my website. No, I had them stream through Discord, Tuber. Every round, players who were selected to be feature matches were required to use Discord's Go Live feature, so I could easily and uniformly capture just their arena window. I didn't want random extra crap like people's webcams and their chat overlays and other things like that on my coverage. I wanted my coverage to look clean and relatively professional. Which again, I understand why CFB doesn't do that, but it lowers the quality of what their coverage is able to be. Because they don't. Yeah, turns out drawing your sweepers against aggro is A-okay. Nice, Captain. Yeah, the Storm Herald deck seems sweet. I don't think we'll ever do a no-banned list Historic Open, but I could see us having fun and experimenting and, like, maybe saying some cards, like Veil of Summer and Once Upon a Time, are not real Magic cards that should not be legal anywhere. Those cards I would never allow people to play. But some other things, yeah, maybe we could experiment with them. Maybe, I don't know. That's something like way down the line. For now, we're gonna stick to what the actual formats are. Yeah, I think Oko is probably a reasonable card in this format. Is this the same opponent? I think this is the same username we just played against. Ooh. Ooh. Mmm. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it.
Keep up the pace.
And so this is what I was talking about earlier. We now get to blink the Fires of Invention. Which means if I draw a spell here, I can cast a third spell. Like so. Bye, friends. Oh, I forgot to turn Deckmaster on. Thank you. I had Deckmaster off over the weekend. Board like we did last time. Trim some of our top end here. Bring in a bunch of cheaper interaction. Sure. Let's try into a third untapped land, huh? No, we haven't been given any public release dates for any of the Jumpstart or Amonkhet Remastered or anything like that they have coming. Oh, I think I keep that, but the third tapped land's a little bit rough. Okay, and we're dead. Barber Justice, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Wait, going third versus aggro is rough. I agree. It's a tough time. I think I mulligan this. I think I'm gonna mulligan this. Can I get the 7 back? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's just such a high chance that last hand misses its third land drop and then dies. Like, this hand is excellent, right? This hand also does something if we miss our third land on 3. Okay. Yeah. Halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Goodbye, friends. Whew! Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby. I guess I should have plussed this first. If they give us a temple, I would rather play that tapped. Fred the Third, thanks for the 22 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Planeswalker on an empty board. This is probably done. Yeah, their hand must be a bunch of 4-drops and removal spells, huh? Banishing Lights, Conclave Tribunal, stuff like that. A curious choice. This is my Teferi. There are many like him, but this one is mine. Ooh. Ooh. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, yeah. Another temporal sundering. You love to see it, chat. You love to see. Yeah, when this deck wins, it doesn't win by inches, chat. Just like country miles, just as far as the eye can see. I think the funniest thing about this whole fetch land thing are the idiots that are arguing the price is too high when these products are selling out at the price that they're listed at. Really, really simple lesson about basic supply and demand in capitalism, chat. If things are selling out, the price is, at a minimum, okay or possibly too low. Yeah, not just selling out, like instantly selling out is accurate. And for the record, as someone who's pretty medium on capitalism in a lot of facets, if there was an appropriate venue to let raw, unmoderated, unfiltered capitalism to take place, it's revolving around a children's card game, right? Like, this isn't healthcare. This isn't access to someone's education. This is a premium product in a premium card game that's completely optional, that's purely there for entertainment. Healthcare is a human right. Magic the Gathering, not so much. Thank you for the 13 months, Chuck MTG, and for the very generous Tier 2 resub. Welcome back. Oop, almost did that wrong. Getting the fires into Karn is gasoline. I wonder if they're self-mill or if they're going to try and mill us. Milling us will be a tall ask with these Nexus of Fates. Oh, gosh! We get to play Teferi for 0 mana, float mana with his +1, and then Nexus of Fate next turn? Whew! That's so disgusting. That's gross. That's the grossest. Why is this card an instant? Why? Who thought that was okay? Right, I'd like to down tick you. I'd like to grab this. I'd like to plus you. Whew! Oh, chat. Oh, chat. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it, chat. It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. So do 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 do. Woo! Yahtzee! Do 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 do. All right, let's get this search for Azcanta down.
Don't worry, I got this.
Bin that one, thanks. Don't mind me. Just gonna down tick this card and get another Temporal Sundering here. Yeah, am I gonna get in trouble for showing this on Twitch? I feel like there's a chance I'm about to get in trouble for showing this on Twitch. Delicious. Get some mystical disputes, some Dovin's vetoes. Probably a couple banishing lights for their enchantments. If you want to see some more of this deck in action after we're done today, this is one of the decks that made a deep run in the Historic Open over the weekend. There's some feature matches of it on coverage up on my website and my YouTube channel now. It shuts off their gargoyles. Does it? Gargoyle depends on my graveyard, right? It doesn't exile, Ashiok doesn't exile my graveyard? Ashiok doesn't impact the gargoyle at all. Can't attack unless the defending player has 7 or more cards in their graveyard. No, it doesn't depend on me at all. Or it doesn't depend on them at all. Sure. Yeah, I tried, Dirty Digits. The setup that I have for the Hoaglandia Open on the website is very, very rudimentary right now. I'm gonna expand on that at some point, but that took me like less than 10 minutes to put together. And I wanted to get something up there ASAP. And we even have, if they don't have a counterspell here, we have the Fires into Teferi Nexus again next turn. Rude. The indecency to interact with me. Yeah, I should have said please. You're right, chat. It's interesting that they saw Nexus of Fate out of me and are still electing to mill me. That's a great draw. It means I can run this into a counterspell and then just still jam another one next turn.
Let's skip to the good part.
I've never rooted for a mill player before. Ow! Ow! They did have Vantress Gargoyle in their deck last game, so we could see that being a route for them to try and kill us.
We need to move quickly.
We're not guaranteed done here, but we're pretty close, right? Yeah, why? What's wrong with this Temporal Sundering card, chat? It, like, it's not an instant, and it, like, exiles itself? Like, what's up with that? Who designed this card? Why doesn't it shuffle back into my deck? Hey, thank you for the entire year of support, Gab. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
No time for a break.
Thanks for keeping me around. Must be bugged. I agree. All right, if they can't take this Teferi off the table, we get to emblem him next turn. Brutal.
My prowess is unmatched by my peers, but thoughtfulness before action.
So if I play this, I can still Nexus of Fate this turn, which is great. Sick. You love to see it. Something to note here on the interface, even though this Teferi has the eye, I can cast this one and the eye will go away. The client is smart and remembers to hide the one, play the one that they know about, so to speak. So now we have Azcanta active.
Hold that thought.
So we get a lot of looks here. So I get to untap these. I get to activate Azcanta at end of turn as well here. Before we draw, I'll cast this. I guess before we draw, I could activate this and cast another one too.
Keep up the pace.
All night long, all night. Do, 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 do. Alright, so there's a Nexus of Fate in exile now. Oh yeah, this game is done. I appreciate the opponent letting me demonstrate what we're able to do when people don't pack it in here. Gosh, I have to discard the hand size? Pretty unlucky. Yeah, to be fair, their milling did get us down to our Nexus of Fates a little bit faster here. We'll down take this, and then we'll do that, and then we'll do this. Then we'll take an extra turn. And like I would like the record to reflect I'm aware that I could win with Kenrith here, but we're not here to win with Kenrith. We're going to emblem this Teferi and exile their board before we do that. Alright, there's the Oath of Teferi. Perfect. Oh yeah, definitely in for the flawless victory here.
Hold that thought.
Is Kenrith drawing to kill all their lands allowed? Yes, definitely. So then we'll play Oath of Teferi here, which lets us blink fires so we can cast more spells using our mana for the turn. The choices we make reveal who we are. Do you think that's Karn throwing shade at the fact that we're currently playing Nexus of Fate? I feel like Karn saying that voice line is his version of throwing shade.
Looks like someone's getting a little sweat. Hope it's not too hot for you.
I feel like Karn might be judging us, chat. Is there a possibility that we are being judged by Karn? Oh yeah, how do we actually want to win this game? Do we win with 20 Chandra emblems? I almost feel like the only appropriate way to win is 20 Chandra emblems, if they're gonna let us do it.
I'll protect you.
Oh right, and the Teferi untaps let us Azcanta this turn still too. Magic as Richard the Garfield intended it to be played.
I really should have seen that coming.
No pressure. Hope it's not too hot for you.
We need to move quickly.
How many cards are in our deck? At least 4 copies of Nexus of Fate.
Know if you're up for round 2. Keep up the pace.
I would like the record to reflect that
Hardly my worst.
I would like the record to reflect that extra turns is in fact how Richard Garfield intended the game to be played. He printed the card Time Walk in the first set of Magic the Gathering. I also think it's appropriate to point out that someone with Tron in their username is never allowed to critique how other people have fun playing Magic.
Suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
Is it just me, or is it getting a little warm in here?
That's also true. Richard Garfield, when he originally envisioned Magic the Gathering, did not expect people to play constructed Magic. He expected people would play limited.
I've got it.
Alright, I was gonna stop taking game actions and just take turns and Chandra them. Let's just get to 20 emblems.
Is it just me, or is it getting a little warm in here? Aw.
Limited didn't exist as we know it to Mirage. That's not, so you're like actualing me to try and sound smart, Puff. Richard Garfield envisioned people just playing with cards they have and a secondary market and tracking down specific copies of singles not being a thing. He effectively envisioned people playing what is kind of limited without formally defining it as limited, is what he expected to happen.
No pressure. Aw, looks like someone's getting a little sweaty.
Oh, I should have bounced Chandra with the Temporal Sundering, fair. But then her loyalty would go down. And part of the fun here is getting her loyalty up, right?
No pressure. Aw, looks like someone's getting a little sweaty. Hope it's not too hot for you.
Chandra is the most loyal of Planeswalkers. Shout out to Sama here, by the way, enabling us to get a screenshot with 20 Chandra emblems on the stack. They're the real MVP here. I just want the picture, chat.
Hope it's not too hot for you.
Is Chandra gonna have a midlife crisis? She's at 42 loyalty now. Are we concerned with Chandra's state of being?
Get toasty. No pressure.
That one. Got the picture for Twitter. Appreciate the opponent. Achievement unlocked, 20 Chandra emblems. Jeskai the Master Pie. Congrats on your finish this weekend. Thanks for the 5 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to run historic tournaments too. Is one of the reasons why I picked the format. Not only is the format sweet, but like, you know, a deck like this isn't one that we would have been guaranteed to find if people hadn't been encouraged to like work on things for the event. Events like the historic Hooglandia Open drive innovation. Encourage people to show up with their sweet things and win some games. What match would Robert be put in for? Other control decks.
I'll protect you.
How is Legacy? Legacy was pretty medium. The Eldrazi deck that we played did not seem particularly good. Probably gonna get Circuitous Rooted here. Yeah, looks like Golo's Field on the other side of the board here.
You are acting unwisely.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Start by blessing this.
I'll make use of that later.
Yikes. Yikes. So they unfortunately get to make 2 zombies at end of turn here with their fetch land, which lets them kill Karn. Yeah, I know we're losing this game here because we don't really have many spells at the moment, but I think on average this matchup's probably pretty okay for our deck. Our archetype goes big in a way that's probably pretty difficult for them to interact with.
I've got time.
Okie doke. We would be doing better if we had spells. Fun fact. Any ultimatums you're interested in building a deck around? I'm sure we're gonna try decks around various ultimatums. I think there's a couple in the deck queue already. I'd be kind of surprised if ultimatums are competitive in any of the arena formats. In fact, the fact that all the ultimatums get hit by Aether Gust is a really big deal. I do a video about the latest state of the game. I didn't feel like there was anything super noteworthy in there. Just like some basic quality of life features and then news about Limited, which isn't relevant to my channel here. Yeah, I expect Fires of Invention decks to want to play some amount of ultimatums as a big go over the top card. Did I miss one? Sounds good. Get that fixed.
I've done the hero thing before.
Reflected. Thanks for the poke, Cody.
Don't worry, I got this.
Yeah, and I tweeted about this. I kind of expect MTGO to get even more inaccessible and expensive with human drafting to coming to Magic Arena, because there's going to be even fewer people playing limited. Towards the Dawn Priest deck. Sounds good, D. Baker. Thanks for the tier 2. Welcome back. We had a Nexus and Exile with Karn. Oh, I think you're right. Did I have 11 mana? I don't know that I had 11 mana, though, right? I have to go back and count now. Maybe I had 11? It was a long game. How do I want to board here otherwise, aside from the match that we just played? Yeah, if I played Karn and Fires, I couldn't cast the Nexus, because that means I already played 2 spells. Fires counts itself. This isn't a veto matchup. They have their own Teferi, so probably not. Howdy, Mikey. Sure. War was a sweet draft format, and Teferi Time Raveler sold $50 on Moto. Yep. Super happy with how the Open went over the weekend. Christy did a superb job managing things, as she does with managing most things. The actual players in the tournament did an exceptional job of being responsive and sharing their screen when requested. I was expecting to have some issues with that, and we really didn't. Once we sorted the technical issues with Discord in round 4, things clipped along really well. Having the tournament be double elimination accomplished what I really wanted to accomplish, which was the tournament went faster in the later rounds, which was ideal. We'll definitely continue to do those tournaments as double elimination. Yep, next turn we get to go untapped land, Teferi for free off of Fires, end step Nexus of Fate, and probably win from there. The Legacy deck this morning was a dumpster fire. I actually don't think Yarok is that bad against the... I think Yarok feels like a 45-50% deck against the format, and it really punishes you for not mulliganing appropriately.
I've got it. I won't hide from the world any longer. Let's skip to the good part. Here goes nothing.
Kitchen table magic is basically sealed. It's basically like an expanding sealed format. Just for reference.
You may regret that choice.
So we get to float 2 here. Resolve this. We are currently playing... Oh, no! Oh, we're playing Hearthstone. Oh. Right. Awkward. I got you. Right. Can't do sweet things. Playing Hearthstone.
You know what? I'm not done yet. Time for go. I've done the...
That's fine. We're fine. We're actually fine, right? We're actually fine.
I do not nothing is ever truly lost.
We are super, super far ahead. You take a turn, pick this one up.
Hurry! That's more like it.
Do this before we start drawing cards. There's more Nexus back in my deck.
Are you certain of your
What's going on, Chalky? Thanks for the 16 months. Welcome back.
I'll protect you.
Those who cannot meditate and prepare.
Whee! Oh no, wait. Oh, I should have done this first, chat. Mistakes were made. When do we pivot to making Karnstructs? Never. Why would I make Karnstructs when I could draw to more taking turns?
reveal who we are?
I have just the trick.
This is the way we take the turns, take the turns, take the turns. This is the way we take the turns. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Opponent's not getting another turn, chat. The game is ended. Our opponent gets nothing. No turns for you. Come back in 1 year.
A curious choice.
So unlucky we have to discard. Yep.
I know who I am, and no one is telling me what to do.
I know who I am, and no one is telling me what to do. Come back, opponent! I was having fun! Come back! No! Come into Nexus's loving embrace. By the way, just because I like to announce when things are slightly different, I will be off tomorrow as well. Tomorrow is the pre-release event for Ikiora for Wizards of the Coast Chosen Few, or Chosen Many. It's really more like Chosen Many. So, because I'm not invited to that, rather than stream formats that don't have the new cards, I'm just taking the day off. I will be live Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I'll gain access to all of the cards, and everybody else gains access to all of the cards. For those of you that are not familiar, you can find my schedule up on my website. Wouldn't be surprised to see a counterspell here. Am I going to watch anyone? Yeah, I'll probably have Sean on while he's live. I'm not sure who I'll watch before that, though. Sean's great. Do I mill myself here to try and get down to Nexus of Fate? I feel like I do. It also fills my graveyard up in case I draw Search for Azcanta later. Day 9 is a very, very good entertainer. You are not wrong. Alright, so hoping to draw a Nexus of Fate here, obviously.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet. Guess I just do this. Mighty Sheikah, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, for those not familiar, Sean is Day 9. Day 9 MTG. Day 9 TV. Whip on Narsets, whatever. We've got the Temporal Sunderings here. So the way this works is I get to cast this for 2, right? That's the option. Right? That's how this works. Oh, I should have played Time Raveler first here, right? Definitely should have done this first. Sounds good, Bullet. I appreciate that. Yes, 10 out of 10. Should have Teferi'd first. Got it.
Interesting to put thoughtfulness before action.
Hey, Innie. Thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, so looking like we're gonna get to ult our Teferi here, which is really all you could ask for in life. Could have bounced the Narset. Ooh, that's a good line to note. Yeah, we can totally bounce our own things. Any recommendations for a first-time streamer? Just have fun. Stream because you like doing it, not because you expect to have a ton of viewers. Yeah, the fact that this is going to make all of our things cost 2 for forever is a little annoying, but it's not the end of the world.
Hurry!
Hit the land so we can start nexusing here.
Reveal who we are.
Like I said, I know we lost game 1, but I think this matchup is probably pretty favored for us.
Hone your prowess.
Why do you think it gets better with the new set? What card are you looking at that you think makes this deck a lot better? This game's done. We just gotta go through the motions at this point.
You can meditate. Prepare.
How convenient. An excellent choice.
Turtle. Oh, Turtle's kind of funny. Maybe I'm supposed to keep that for an extra turn here. I don't know.
Reality will crumble.
Alright, not expecting my opponent to get another turn. There's a Nexus and Exile here as well. We already have 1 turn in the bank.
Now what?
Please stop. This will aid us.
Exiling the Conqueror's Death does not get rid of its ability, right? All of your questions about deck submissions can be found on my website.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
If you wish to surrender now, I understand.
Are you certain of your decision?
This would be a record for how much extra mana ECD has cost an opponent. Yeah, probably. Do we start Chandra embleming? Yeah, I mean, at some point. Like, the world is our oyster, chat.
Matter of time.
There's not a lot of wrong ways to eat this Rhesus, let's be honest. The scroll bar on the effects waiting to happen is very nice. Alright, can this one claw us up into Mythic? What do we think, chat? Oh, daily deals. Almost forgot about daily deals. Survey says Fling. I will probably play a Fling at some point on this channel. I'll get it for gold. Hey, Brady K, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. If you caught the open over the weekend and you're interested in playing in the next one, or you played in this one and you want to play in the next one, the next Hoaglandia Open is going to be fairly soon. Matt and I talked, and we want to do a standard open shortly after the set release. So April 25th, that is a Saturday this time, we will be having our next Hoaglandia Open. Keep an eye on this spot or the subs Discord or my Twitter for a tweet when the MTG Melee signups go up again. We'll be open to 256 people again this time. We're not going to be doing every 2 weeks moving forward, but doing this next one fairly soon seemed like it made a lot of sense with the new set release happening. I think my plan for the Hoaglandia Open series moving forward after this is to do an open every month. And we'll do a standard open shortly following the new set release. And then we'll do historic opens for the other two. So we'll do a standard open every quarter and two historic opens every quarter. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Any issues using a friend? No, I don't care. Just make sure you have the right account listed on MTG Melee. The only thing that matters with MTG Melee is that your display name on MTG Melee needs to match your display name in the subs Discord server, because that's how we coordinate tagging people for future matches. My Fist, thank you for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Are there rewards for winning or just bragging rights? We had a small selection of prizes for the first one. We're going to continue to put up small selections of prizes moving forward. Maybe if these things scale up, we'll eventually have some cash prizes or something like that. But for the time being, mostly going to be deck queue credit. Maybe small amounts of things from my sponsors. Like for this past one, we had gift card credit for Hurly Burly Altars, which is one of the folks on our sponsor reel. They do excellent work. So I assume they're killing my Teferi here. Really? Okay. So our best draw next turn is 5 mana Teferi, so it would let us Nexus of Fate. I just assumed that was going to be untapped. Turns out that assumption was wrong.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Well, so it's fine. I think it's still right to play. I'll get to scry during my upkeep before we draw. Yeah, it doesn't, like, even knowing that it's tapped, it's still the play. I think there's a lot of new cards to explore, Jin, as always. As for what kind of impact they're going to have, just impossible to know, as always, also. Ooh, here's Kenny. Yes, yeah, the new Tri-lands bring castles into play untapped. They bring buddy lands into play untapped as well. I expect those cards to be fairly impactful. I think we'll probably see some play of the Tri-Lands in older formats like Modern and maybe even Legacy as like fun ofs or two ofs. As someone who's registered Murmuring Bosk in Modern before, the Tri-Lands are better than those. So I do unfortunately have to block with Kenrith this turn, because otherwise, between the oven and the food, I die. Do you think I want to stop on upkeep? Yeah, I guess that's fair. If they kill Kenrith, I want to stop on upkeep. If they don't kill Kenrith, I want to use Kenrith. Yeah, playable in Modern as one ofs, I think is likely accurate. Alright, if I take 5, they can sack this food, deal 1, sack this, deal 3. If I block here, I'm not dying, right? Can someone double check that math? Is it possible for me to die on this board blocking here? It's not, right? They can sack 1, 2, 3. Because this can't sack itself. The oven doesn't change anything, right? The oven sack Strider, that doesn't change anything, right? Yeah, I think someone had turned off sub-only mode there. I think I saw some people that said weren't sub chatting. I think there were a couple. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who touched that. Don't touch controls mods. You're going to lose your mod sword. I'm going to have to go back and check the log. The stupid dashboard taught a bunch of people that normally never touched anything that they have powers they didn't know they had. Yeah, the new mod mode. They put a GUI in front of a bunch of people that always had powers. Alright, so they killed Kenny, but I think we're still a pretty incredible favorite here, right? We're looking for a Planeswalker at this point that can provide sustained card advantage, like Karn or Teferi. This is exactly what we wanted for Christmas. I'll make use of that later. Thanks for the 7th land. Oh yeah, I guess I should technically Nexus first, huh? You love to see it, chat. You love to see it.
We should discuss how decisive action is needed.
Alright, so Baffling Ends, Banishing Lights, Deafening Clarions, Oath of Teferi out, Chandra out, Narset out, 1 taking turn spell out, I think. Seems like a good plan against an aggro deck. I don't think Ashiok's very good here. We didn't see Kroxa, so it's like good against exactly their Walk Strider or whatever. I don't know that Ashiok's really better than any of these cards that I'm currently playing. It's not even that good against Cat, right? Because like you have to kill Cat and have them not have an oven. Ashiok doesn't do anything against Cat. Better to cut Sundering because we have less legendaries. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, Robber the Rich in the sideboard of this deck for a lot of the same reasons you see it in the sideboard of Fire, Sex, and Standard for control matchups. this might be a little bit speculative. Perfect, never didn't have it. I was gonna say, with Search for Azcanta, I can kind of hope that draws me into cheap interaction. Hey, Trapologic, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. I do not believe so good. Ooh, that's a fair assessment. The fact that we saw a Stitcher supplier implies that they are on Kroxa, and we probably care about their graveyard a little bit more. Yeah, it's good observations. Y'all should have those observations before we finish sideboarding next time. Do I even want to... Yeah, I think I'm actually okay with them escaping Kroxa next turn, because I have Baffling End, right? I was thinking, like, am I okay with letting them fill their graveyard and then having a land? And yeah, I definitely am. Hey, thanks for 7 months, Croats. Welcome back. Aye, there's a shatter in the sky. Aye, do, shatter in the sky. I think I discard Temporal Sundering here since I don't have a legendary in sight. I think we're gonna go ahead and Baffling End here. Taking me way back. That was an old DDR song. At least that's where I know it from. I remember back in the day, you could cut the ends off of PS2 DDR dance pads and splice USB ends onto them to hook them up into your computer. Was what we did to play DDR on our PCs. Well, gonna need to find an answer to this Kroxa. Had to resub for the Butterfly Song. Thanks for the 3rd of a year, Retrogul. Welcome back. DDR stream when? I am old and fat, chat. Once upon a time, 17-year-old Jeff was the same height I currently am, but he only weighed 165 pounds. Times have changed, chat. Times have changed.
Sorry I'm late.
We need a DDR stream with Matt on commentary. That would probably just be too savage. I don't know if my mental could keep up with that. We are flirting with disaster. You got fatter when you stopped playing DDR. That's fair. That's fair. No, during high school and undergrad, I used to bike like 20 plus miles per week. I'll keep you in shape. I also had a job that was semi-physical, which helps. This job's not particularly physical, chat. Hey, Lamag, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday wherever you're at in the world. I think we're keeping this and hoping to draw land, right? I think is the plan. We'll bottom Teferi. How has this deck felt? It's been sweet. Had some great games. Won a number of them. Oh, I forgot to put Ashiok back in for the third game. You know, you live, you learn. We don't even necessarily need a white source. If we draw a non-white land, Fires will let us cast the white spells. So we've got that going for us. Well, so long, Fires of Invention. You shall be missed. We have been caught with our hand in the proverbial cookie jar, chat. Where do you buy the stretchy jeans that you talk about? What are the brand? Oh, Izod. Izod are my preferred form of stretchy jeans. Listen, if you're a somewhat overweight individual and you have never purchased jeans that are partially elastic, let me tell you that they are life-changing. Christy often looks at me as like, don't you want to change into something more comfortable? And I'm like, look it. All of my clothes are comfortable. Lots of different brands have various semi-elastic jeans. Izod are my preferred brand. Most brands offer variations of them. This stream is in no way sponsored or endorsed by Izod, but Izod, if you're out there, it certainly could be. Let's talk. Feels like we're dead here, missing our color. Yeah, we have the Reebok plug up there for a couple more days. My deal with them was I got a pair of shoes for a week's worth of shilling.
Let us begin. Well chosen.
Well chosen. Reebok approached me. They had one of their influencer managers reach out. Yeah, I'm down for free stuff. Especially when it's good stuff.
Please stop.
I just noticed Grixis mid-ranges today ready for disappointment. Hey, at least you understand how reality works. Reality's not kind to Grixis players, chat.
You are acting unwisely.
You are acting unwisely.
Now return.
Clarion, my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are gone. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Do 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 do. How much you have to pay to cut Grixis from the queue? You just have to send me enough money to keep cutting other decks above it. You can't actually pay to directly remove a deck from the queue. Dune Sea is a titled goose game. It is. It is a titled goose game. The Dune Sea game is a... I mentioned when we did the Monster Dungeon game that we did a sponsored segment with, that there's a website that aims to connect streamers with indie titles, and they're a game that I found on that site.
You may regret that choice.
You may regret that choice. Yeah, Legend of the Keepers. That was that one. That was a good one. So what if I go land, Baffling End this Woe Strider, play my other Karn, grab, play my other Karn, go up again? I think sounds like the line here. Yep. If Karn survives, we can grab Sundering Titan next turn. Or Karn Sundering next turn, which is great. Probably discarding the Temple to Kroxa and just taking a little hit for life here. Well, I mean, to be fair, the problems with Historic or frustrations that I personally at least expressed were largely based around a lack of support for Historic, and so far Wizards does still have a large lack of support for Historic. If you actually go back and listen to the grievances that I aired, they were in large part due to a lack of support. Which is part of the reason why I like making the open series this format, because it allows us to support it ourselves.
It is best if you stop. The time has
Didn't we have a Fire Exiles with Karn? Nope. There's a Fire in Exiled, but it's not in Exiled with Karn. Historic will get more prominence after Historic Anthology 3. Sure, we'll see. I'm excited to see what that means. Hopefully it means there's an always-on ladder. Hopefully it means invitational support. There's a lot of different things that could mean. Yeah, we did it! Sweet memes are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Remember, chat, don't let your memes be dreams. Every season in and season out, we hit Mythic on this stream playing decks that are almost entirely submitted by people like you. You do not have to play just endless tier 1 decks to be successful and climb up the ladder. All right, this, yeah, I don't know. The core idea of what's going on here was, wait, this is shiny. Nope. All right, was bumping for no reason. The core idea here seems sweet. Having endless taking turns effects along with Fires of Invention is great. The number of times, I mean, if it happens once, it's luck. If it happens every season, there's probably something to what we have going on in terms of playing Magic well. Fires of Invention on 4 into Teferi Nexus of Fate on 5 is just gasoline. Remember, if you want to see more of this deck and you didn't check out the Hoaglandia Open this past weekend, there is a coverage archive for that up on my website now. You can find almost 180 deck lists available for viewing, whether or not they won the tournament or they didn't get any wins at all. All the data is available there. Yeah, there's some people in chat said they were working on this deck list. They have some ideas of things that you could play. The new Cycle Turtle that's coming with Icura seems like it could potentially be very good here. Mind Stone is a card that was, what does all the data mean? It means actual all of it. All right, and anywho, we are going to roll right along. Speaking of the Open, we had someone cheer to add the winning deck list from the Open into the queue. So we are going to kick the tires here on Napster's Gruul Aggro. Coming up next, I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick ad roll while I get my client restarted and everything flipped over for that. Don't go anywhere. We got a bunch more Historic coming up yet today. Thanks for hanging out, folks.